Hi family. Well, today is the first day of our trip with Zach and Onika, and we're here in Budapest up on the Citadel having a wonderful look at the view of Budapest, which is the most beautiful city. And we've been learning already, just even today, so much of the history and so much of the tragedy as well of that this country and this city has faced. We're looking forward to the next few days when we're going to travel to more country, Hungary, and then we're going to go to Transylvania, and we're going to explore where our dad, Laurent, and his parents, Robert and Anna Stary, came from, where they were born in Transylvania, and where Apu and our grandfather, Nojpapa, went to university. So there's great adventures awaiting us, I think. Want to add anything, Muriel?
Just it's been an amazing trip so far, and just learning the history of the country and getting a deeper understanding of an appreciation.
For. That's quite close to Ege, and to see some of the cave dwellings that we've seen in other parts of the world too. But these are unique, and they're limestone caves that have been preserved and still used, and it's just lovely.
Just gonna walk in to see it from inside as well, to have some idea what's happening. Basically, this is the kitchen area. This is the kitchen, and it's still functioning. This oven. Here you would see the bedroom. So every house has a kitchen, a bedroom, and this is the area here for the animals. And next to it, it's a neighbor, so this hall not supposed to be here, but this is the neighbor's room with the same structure.
And it's a really true reflection of how people would have lived all those years ago, with both the sentimental and religious items and precious things that people have displayed everywhere. Our whole families would have fitted into one room, and also shared that room as an eating area and a lounge area. So it's just lovely to see a little self-contained little home for people. And here we are at the Ege Castle, which is the site of many centuries old bishop's church and residence and fortifications, and the site of a famous battle, a really lopsided battle, something like 40,000 Turks against 2,000 Hungarian army, and that was in 1552, I think, and lasted 38 days, and they were massively outnumbered, but they were so ingenious because they had the fortifications of the castle here, and they were able to rain down not just weapons on the Turks as they tried to scale the walls, but the women took a key role in all of this. They were strong women, not just beautiful women, but strong women, and they threw down boiling tar and boiling soup and fire cartwheels as well, so that the Turks had almost no chance of survival.
and I was like, oh my god, I feel yours.
That's right.
I feel you.
Yeah, but you know, it's after knowing nothing for so long, or very little for so long, and then all of a sudden, the last 12 months, we've just uncovered all this other information, and now we're here.
And it's so good that you're here, not just on your brother.
Yes.
Monostoriensis, Ecclesia Parochialis Catholicae Monostoriensis 1800. Itt van. Nem, latinul. Igen.
And handwritten, which is what's even more.
Ez a Domus is.
Columbus Kristóf Amerikát felfedezte.
Define the grandfather exist.
Wonderful. So
Igen, köszönjük! Hát te ne tudd meg, hogy itt milyen mosolygós arcokat, igen, varázsoltál ide.
21st of the 3rd.
Itt ez az. Minden, itt is.
Probably in the National Archives, but no.
So the National Archives are in Szeged.
Second, yeah. So, yeah, there was exactly 100 years ago. There was a huge turmoil here at the end of the First World War.
Yes.
The Romanian army came here and persecuted everybody. So whoever, even the teachers, the students who didn't pledge allegiance to the Romanian king were exiled. So almost all of them who didn't really accept this new regime were exiled to the later Hungary.
And then my father, our father, he studied here in the 40s during the war. So this is his record of his...
Exactly, so during the 40s,
Yeah.
again, Hungarian regime, you don't find any kind of information.
So there wouldn't be anything.
I'm certain of it.
Well, here we are at the University of Franz Joseph, now called the Boya University, and it's where Papa and Apu both went to university. Unfortunately, we can't access any records there because they're all in Szeged. But it's good to be here just to see where they studied, and also where they would have lived for some time, particularly during the Second World War, when Apu was at university here. So lovely to be here with Balint, who is our guide at the university, but also seeing all the sites today.
So Mátyás founded the first professional army in Europe. It was called the Black Army. And these were his captains, Magyar Balázs, Kinizsi Pál, Szapolya János, and Báthori István. And everybody has every captain has its own story. For instance, Kinizsi Pál was so strong that once he beat up, I think, a Czech champion in front of Mátyás, and in that moment he gave him like 3 castles or something like that. But he was a very loyal subject of the king, and during that time he needed this professional army because the Turkish wars began. So actually he fought a lot of battles and never lost fighting the Turks because of the professional army, which Europe didn't have at the time, but he did. He conquered Vienna, he conquered Austria, he conquered Silesia, which means the eastern part of today Germany and the western part of Poland. So he was a European conqueror and the defender of Christianity as well.
This is it. This is it. Toda Street 53. Look at the building, it's pretty old. It's not an office building, it's still an old building. So probably this. Look at this. Well, you were seeing probably this on the Google, the office building. But look at this. This is probably the oldest building in this area and it has origin. Pleasure.
where our family lived
Pleasure.
during the war. 53 Tudor Street in Kolozsvár. It's amazing to see. It's a very big building, several floors high, and no doubt that they live somewhere here. That's one of the apartments. Here we are at Tour de Tour with Father Dennis and this lovely kind lady who's been searching the records, of which there are very few, most of them having been destroyed by the Russians and other people. And we have the actual document that is our grandfather's, Notch Papa's, baptism certificate, and it says that he was baptized in 1894 and that his father, Norbertus, was Catholic, his mother, Anna, was Unitarian. So that's a bit of a discovery for us. But it's so lovely to see the original document, and it's something of a miracle that we can actually even witness this and see it here.
Na ez úgy össze volt lődözve ez a templom, hogy 1970-ben, amikor ugye nekifogtak az a papbácsi, aki Sinfalvára jött, tehát imád Fülőre voltunk, akkor a romba jutott itt a templomajtót, és maradékot minden el voltak szentelték. És
Külső része volt összelőve?
hát az összes.
Winery, because they actually found that a lot of people, they were hiding underneath, and they actually built hospitals in there as well during the war.
Like a rock hospital.
Yeah.
Yes, similar, and that's the Torda Gorge over there. A lot of cave in it.
Oh, okay. Yes, hiding in there.
Yes, hiding.
So if any would have any place like that.
And he take from his hand his father and refugee in the
Searching Tour de Tour, where we've just seen the baptism certificate, and we believe that our grandfather would have been baptized in
And I
this
go home
church.
and I ask my mother. My mother said in our neighbor live on Fritz, and the name of his grandfather was Fritz, and it was
Did the water run through there to the ground underneath
no, it was
in a bowl?
yeah.
Oh, there was a stainless steel, I think.
It would have been stainless steel because in some old like cathedrals and big basilicas, they have a special baptistry area,
Yeah.
and they have the font, and it had the water goes through the centre and through the ground, a special hole into the soil underneath. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
There you go. Ringing the bell for your grandparents.
Yeah, for Notch Papa.
Oh, nice, Papa.
is látszanak a falban.
Thank you. Köszönjük szépen. Köszönjük szépen. So we're on our way to Bethlehem, where Nojmama was born, and we've stopped here at
Which is Samos.
to see the Armenian cathedral here, the Basilica, which is looking quite glorious from the outside. Well, here we are in Bethlehem, which is where Nojmama was born, and we're at the Catholic Church here, but it's all shut up and it looks pretty old. So we're not sure whether this was the church that she may have gone to, or even if she was Catholic originally. So who would know? But very hard to find out information here. But it's a very old church, and it's a pity it's all locked up because we can't go inside here. Yeah, so perhaps it's in the process of being renovated at the moment.
Have you found anything? It's a huge cemetery.
It's a huge cemetery and it's so overgrown.
It is.
So overgrown that, you know, the church isn't able to find something.
So we are looking for Barányi.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you feel walking here when your great father and mother might be laying?
Well, it's lovely to be here, even though we can't really find their graves, but we're pretty sure it's here because the photograph that we've got is very similar to the scenery that we can see around us, and it's so overgrown here it's very hard to see anything actually, unless it's on a main path. But anyway, it's still good to be here just the same, and who knows, we might stumble upon their grave as we go back to the car.
Well, in this cemetery there are all Hungarian names. Légradi, Berki, Nándor. Looking for a small rock. This one is much smaller, this cemetery, than the other one. And I believe this is more looked after. Can you tell? It's more looked after.
Oh, definitely. Well, you can at least walk amongst the graves here, whereas in the other one, there's no graves.
Muriel, I can't believe what we just found.
I can't believe it either. I told you when I went with my friend how we found theirs, her dad's, reciprocated.
Oh my god, and even the writing, you could still see it
Yeah.
slightly.
Yeah.
Amazing. Just careful.
Yeah. Obviously the lady doesn't know all the graves in here.
Exactly. Lucky I looked again, like a double take.
Yeah.
Because it looked like it was on an angle, and I thought,
Yeah.
okay, stones usually change over years. Guess what? They find it.
No.
Yes, come.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I have to take my towel with me around my neck.
Can't believe you find it just before the last. You were almost exiting. Oh my god. Wow.
Wow.
It's a barn.
If you look at the picture, here's your picture. But things have changed since, because there's houses here now. There you go.
That's it. Oh my goodness. It does look so different.
And your nose is bleeding.
Is it?
You must
Yes.
have pressed on it a bit too much.
Yes.
It's all right. I wipe my face with the wet towel. Yeah.
It's a bloody good news.
It is good news. It is good news. It's a, oh, well, that was a miracle.
We were looking at that side and we went, no, we were coming down here. I'm like, we need to look at that because it was an angle. And I
Yeah.
thought rocks usually get washed over years. And it doesn't
That's
look so sharp.
exactly. Exactly.
I think thank you God for that man who said there's a, or lady,
Yeah.
there's another cemetery.
That was, yes. That's right.
And there's no pine tree behind it.
No, not now.
It's a new tree.
New tree.
12. No, that's Mrs. Balint. So that should be somewhere in there. Should be 1912. See, and Anna, her name is Anna, and that was her surname, her maiden name and her surname. And then that, somewhere in here, and then that was the dad. He died earlier, did he? Oh, later. No, 1932 he died. So she died first. Nojmala's mum died first when Nojmala was 12 years old, and then the father died in 32. So the picture shows it better. Anyway.
1913.
1913, all right. So she was 13 years old.
We found.
You found. Clever people, both of you.
I have a feeling I'm like, I need to. It's one of those things that you go, I know it's there. As soon as I saw the thing and I walked over here and I had chills everywhere on my legs.
Yes. Your sixth sense told you.
Yeah. Because I was trying to, we were looking at the picture and we're trying to picture it because that's got the background.
Yes.
And I went, it should be facing that way because we didn't come down and until then. And then I saw that.
Yes.
I'm like, it must be
And
that.
you're right. These houses are.
They weren't here.
factories or whatever they.
Yeah.
And you are, because you can see the hill in the background behind there.
So the others in your picture, they might have got demolished because others were moved. Because there's other pictures where the picture is, they had other ones here.
That one over there, perhaps
Yes, the tall one.
next to the next one that looks like the pillar.
Oh yeah, because the
Round
photo was
across
taken
like
from
across
this
it.
angle.
Yeah,
One. Yeah.
the one over there. So that's what it's in
true.
the flower.
On the top. we've sort of completed as much as we can of the story.
Yes.
Mission completed.
We just need to find out what was that love story that got Nodge Mama and Nodge Papa together.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
I
That's
think
right.
that's the.
Okay. Well, we've found Nodge Mama's apple and Mama's grave, finally. Well, Muriel and Annika found it actually, which was wonderful. Co-production by the Hunches. And so we've just given it a bit of a clean. It'd be good to have it restored if we could. That would be great. But here we are, and we're doing this for Nodge Mama to honour her parents too, because we know so little about her and her background. So it's good to at least have done this for her. So Nodge Mama, saint in heaven that you are, with Nodge Papa and Mum and Apple as well, we pray that your legacy of love and devotion to family and to us as a family will continue to live on in our family as well. And we pray this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Céltalanul a világban, az élete Istentől indul el, és Istenhez érkezik meg. Hazavár az Isten. A féligosságok testvérei, azok a féligosságok. És kellemes vasárnapot kívánok mindenkinek, és engedjék meg, hogy köszöntsem és elköszönjek az ausztráliai vendégektől, ismerősöktől, itt van Zsolt, a Enikő és a kedves hölgyek, akik azért jöttek el Ausztráliából, hogy a gyökereket megkeressük. Valamikor szülők, nagyszülők itt születtek, Tortatóban megtaláltuk az 1894-es anyakönyvben az adatokat, nagyon boldogok, lefényképezték, lefilmezték, viszik haza az új hazába, Ausztráliába. Tegnap elmentek Betlenbe, megtalálták a katolikus temetőben a sírt, nagyon boldogok, igen, sajnos ők már nem tudnak magyarul, tehát ez is nagyon-nagyon fontos, hogy az édes anyanyelvünket adjuk, tanítsuk meg. Ahány nyelvet tudunk, beszélünk, annyi emberek vagyunk, és az nem szegénység, hanem gazdagság. Have a nice days. It was a pleasure for me to meet you. All the best I wish you. Minden jó kívánok. A Jóisten áldja meg, áldott szép vasárnapot.
Ja, igen, köszönöm szépen. Köszönöm szépen. Thank you very much. Viszontlátásra. Bye bye. All the best. God bless you.
And God bless you in your ministry too.
Yeah, thank you.
Here in Sabata, which is a very pretty little touristy town, lots of spas and hotels and markets and restaurants, and the Bear Lake close by. And for the first time ever, I'm having langosh. Muriel's had it before. Wasn't sure about it, but it is absolutely delicious.
We are in
Koron.
and we are trying to find some beautiful souvenirs to take home for all the family. The right ones, of course. So that's what we're doing at the moment. Not in rain because it stopped raining. We had the thunderstorm been here. We're looking forward to it.
Let's find Maria as well. She's shopping. Danica.
We're shopping.
Beautiful Koron. Every store is look like this pretty much, and the whole street. Here we are in Koron in this beautiful Curia Panzio. It's a brand new Panzio, refurbished, opened 1.5 months ago, so it's brand new. So let me just take you around and see. This is the reception area. It's a beautiful antique design everywhere. A fireplace in here as well. Here is the Monkos, the owner. Has piano. And let's see, visit Maria and Muriel. They do have a different and separate room this time. So let's see if she's ready for a dinner. Good evening.
Hi.
I'm just recording and I want to show your room to the camera.
You don't want to show my room, it's messy.
No, I don't believe it.
It
You
is
just
messy.
moved. You just moved in.
I've got clothes everywhere and also souvenirs that I've been shopping.
That's okay. I'm just
today.
gonna do a quick one. So let's start with the bathroom.
It's beautiful.
Look at the design. Everywhere is a handmade Koron, local ceramic
It is beautiful.
fireplace.
Ceramic here. The fireplace, it's lovely. Yes. Sorry about the mess.
That's okay. Antique furnitures everywhere. Look at this old telephone.
Next to the new modern one.
Look at the chandelier.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yes. So this is one room. I'm gonna show you to the camera one room as well, and in about 5 minutes we can go for a dinner.
Okay.
And see you downstairs.
Okay. See you then. Bye.
Bye.
See you Friday.
And Muriel is just here at the room 5. She should be ready very soon for a dinner. Just going down and show you a couple of more things here. This is just a smoking area, and I'm just gonna show you from here what's happening there. That's a sauna and a jacuzzi, salt water which comes from Paride, from the salt mining area, and it's really salty. I just tried it, but it's really nice and rejuvenating. Room service.
Hello, room service. Hang on. Does that look okay?
Beautiful. Can we see your room?
Come and
I'm
see the room.
checking all the rooms to the camera, because every room designed differently. And this is another beautiful antique room.
Let me shut the door. Better. That's better. Beautiful room.
Did you try the bed yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
No.
I tried it.
Tried
It's
yours.
really
Yours is good.
nice and comfortable.
Nice and comfortable.
But it's just the perfect size. If somebody is taller than me,
It must be too small.
might have a little issue.
But they might have bigger beds somewhere else. And it's gorgeous.
But they're just gonna take this off.
Nice and, this, you know, I could lay out here and it would be nice and soft to lay on the nice little rugs and all of that. And then when you like a bit warm, get cosy over here. And the bathroom is just gorgeous. And the bath is interesting.
Look at the window.
Well, I attempted to sit. The legs kept going up. So it was the salty water.
You tried the jacuzzi, yeah?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
why. That's how where the salt mines
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Next door there is actually an outdoor pool.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is
So
like-
you start flowing. There's no
Yes.
way you can actually put
Yeah.
it.
So here we are in the dining room area. So this is basically the guest lobby where you can relax before the dinner. Fireplace.
Is he going to light it, is he?
Bekapcsolod? Bekapcsolod? Azt. Aha. Ó, de jó. So this is the dining room area. Really old traditional Hungarian radio. So-called radio, broadcasting, gramophone.
We're in a lovely carriage with a covered wagon, and we're going to Poland with our guide Zoltan, who is going to show us some of the artisan works here, which have been for many centuries a big part of Poland. In this area alone, there are 700 potters, whereas there wouldn't be 700 potters in the surrounding countries. So we're really going to see the lovely heart of Poland today. And we've got these two gorgeous horses that are pulling our wagons.
A real view of the village. You see a lot of potters are walking. In this part of the village, almost every yard is a potter workshop. Mindig annyi kosúl van. The base material, the clay, is a local. We have a local resource, and it's enough for 10,000 more years. So we have plenty of it, and it's a good quality clay. And we have some specialized families who are on that point. So it is a problem. So it has to be really good quality clay. And
Csokram, hogy Isten. Jó napot.
Nincs az a durva homoszentség bennem, nagyon finom. Ezért még a kezelt fordítsa, nem vagy tönkretegyek.
everything she's doing with free hands. No, nothing is pre-drawn. So all the motifs are in her hand, in her mind, and in her hand. This combination of colors on any ceramic in the world, you can be sure almost 100% that was made in this village.
So they, in the last 10 years, they're mixing the honey with herbs and spices, and they're creating a different sort of flavors.
This is with strawberry mountains.
So what is that?
This is the fresh one, and this is the dried one. The dried one you can keep.
Pollen.
Pollen, yes, pollen. Winter time they are about 40,000 in one beehive, 40,000, and in summertime
They are about 100,000.
Are polen puțin pe picioare, miere căpăcită,
You see
polen.
the cells covered. There is honey already in the covered ones.
Ăștia sunt trântorii.
These are the males. They don't bite.
Ei n-au
They don't have the needle.
fulan.
Da. Nu înțeapă.
Nu înțeapă,
You can keep
puteți
it.
să țineți,
You can keep it
că nu vă face nimic.
with your finger.
So which one has the
Nu-i
snake?
problemă, mai am.
He escaped.
Ei
keep it
n-au
with your finger.
tată, numai mamă au.
Do you want to touch it?
Deci,
Szárnyát
Actually,
fogjam?
they are formed.
Mindegy, nem szúr.
Nem szó, fogja
De
meg,
nem
fogja
akarom
meg.
sérteni meg.
provin din ou neîmperecheată.
This is the queen. She is putting already the eggs, the fertilized eggs, in these. If you see in the center of every cell is a point, whitish point. Those are the eggs.
Aici este
Yes.
matca, încă
That's
nu-i
the queen.
vopsită,
She's not
acum
painted.
care
Let's clarify some issues. Tinders are the mushrooms which grows on tree trunks, not on the ground. There is a family of tinders. Each species of tree has its own species of tinder. That is showing that there is not a parasite mushroom. Because if it would be parasite, any type of tinder would grow on any type of tree. But no, the beech tree has the beech tinder, the pine tree has the pine tinder, and so on. Deci, ca să clarificăm, the tinder and covers that wound like a bandage. So it actually protects the tree not to get harmful bacteria directly into the fluid of the tree. And this anti-hemorrhagic, antibacterial issue is used at the people too in wartime, First World War, Second World War, and nowadays too people are using as a bandage the tinder. But I will explain. Old trees has got, so we cut the old trees, old forests in the Carpathians. In the last 20-30 years we cut them very much. So nowadays Mr. Zoltan has to go 300 kilometers to collect the wood. So getting more costly to get the good tinder in the workshop.
Nagyon tetszett, és nagyon sok vendéggel élén síelve. Igen, és most ilyenkor bemegyünk sorkolni, és akkor szekerezem.
Maximum. And that is called amadu. That softer layer, that 15% of the tinder mushroom, it is called amadu actually. It's really risky by walking by this tool. And I will and now look at the wonder. It's doubling, it's tripling its size. Wow. In length and in width. Only by hand, everything. You can feel where it has potential of stretching more. And it's really, really a soft material, unbelievable soft material. It is going up and down, until here she will have the 780 threads. Here. Okay, here in this has to have 780 threads. And how she is counting and how she can be sure that they will not make notes, it's simple. The length is that, 35 meter is the length. And look at lassan váltson fent majd, amikor menjen. When she's arriving at the top, she make a turn back and she make this cross. And here, you see this cross? This is the most important insurance that you will not have nodes on the thread. And all the model is in this, actually. And they have no school, they have no university for that, but they know, they have some nodes, and all the model is in the threads. Okay, and then she starts to all the weaving activity. Mehet, igen. And she is using the pedals as the rhyme of a poetry, actually. And if you make a failure in the cross direction, in this direction, you can go back, no problem. But the failure, if you have a failure on the length, is a much bigger problem. And can you imagine more pedals, more combination of pedals? Yes. With 4 pedals, you have 21 or 20 combination of pedals, actually, what you can do. Every model has its own rhythm of pedals, how they do. So the rhythm of pedals and these tools have the model.
This is pretty much their family's crest, so everything. That's their surname?
Да, сифр. Deci fiecare familie, Balin, Covaci, Păcioi, Ciortan.
Fiecare
könyvet nem adtál neki egy ilyen. Péter könyvet adjuk ki. Egyet vegyél Mondom, a falu az 5 kilométer, 22 000 lakós. Maga módján így adva.
And it's called Oroshegy. If you want to translate it, means Russian hill.
Van. Ott itt körülbelül vagyunk 890-re. Tehát nagyon magas.
Above sea level, and here at 850. What's on the hill up there? Not the tall one, but the next one. What's that? What's on the hill? Not the tower or anything, but the other thing on the
Kilátó.
Az a kilátó, oda kellett volna menjünk mi, csak nem lehet kimenni.
It's not far from there. A Jézus szíve ott van?
Azon túl.
So this one is for kilátó medvékre.
Well, here we are at the Seke Kopu, which is like an outdoor museum really, and showing all the Transylvanian gates that were erected. The earliest one we've found is 1835, and the latest one we've found is last year, 2018. And they're erected for particular occasions and by particular community groups to honour the time, the place, the people. Each decorated absolutely beautifully.
The biggest family in the town.
Kafé? Én iszok egy kávét, köszönöm. Csak egy kicsit.
Connected by brothers, sisters, and children.
ő oda bent dolgozik.
Én a Melindát mindig látom a Facebook.
Cukrot kértek-e?
Cukrot inkább nem.
Nem.
Majd azt
jó.
hiszem mindenki egyenként.
Jó, veszek elé cukrot, aztán hol kinek kér.
A Melindát mindig a Facebookon látom a kislánya.
Jaj,
mindig látom oda, jaj, de jó lenne találkozni.
Kicsi leángályok van, hogy jaj, azt kimondani nem lehet.
Hát, amikor jövök lefelé, hát addig visszajönnek.
Másképp világos. Igen. De amúgy most főztem, elsőbbszér, de
úgy is megvan a színe?
Megvan a színe. Nem van a tényleg.
Zsoltár, kérsz kávét? Teát?
Nem.
Unit? Thanks. I can't drink without.
Absolutely beautiful area of Transylvania. We've been to the site where the Pope said the outdoor mass, and now we've come to the church, which is a sacred place.
This is the Transylvanian anthem, right after the Hungarian one.
year Maria decided that with it being 70 years since our father and grandparents came out to Australia from Hungary, and also because it would coincide with the 40th anniversary of our dad's death, it would be really good to be able to go back to Hungary, to Budapest and surrounds, to try and find out a little bit more about our roots. And not knowing much about where they came from and where they lived, and with no one to ask, we just felt it was an important trip to be able to make together, hopefully with the rest of the family, which didn't turn out, but that we could find out some more information about who we were and where we came from.
And that's what happened. We gave Zach the little scant bit of information that we knew, where our dad and grandfather went to university, where we've just discovered the two villages where our grandparents were born. And we had one photo of our great-grandparents' grave. We didn't know where that was either. That was all the information we had. But through Zach's contacts and various people, especially Father Denis Seke, who was the parish priest of Kolozsvár, we were able just to find so much. So we found birth certificates, baptism certificates, we found the church where our grandfather was baptised, we found the grave, and we've been able to arrange for some maintenance on the grave as well. And it's been such a wonderful experience of really being able to deepen our bit of understanding of our family story, basically, as our dad's and our grandparents, Nodge Mama and Nodge Papa's story. And so that was the first part of our trip. It was just fantastic.
And then we were taken to Coron, which is the heart of Transylvania, and to just experience what it was like, and to get to know a little bit about the artisan work that comes from Coron, which is so traditional, and to just do a bit more sightseeing from there, and to meet people at home, and to be able to just sort of see what it's like in a regular family in Hungary and Transylvania. So that was another part of the journey that we made on this trip, and it's just been a wonderful time together.
Yes, I think really tasting the food and the culture and the traditions, and really the pride, I suppose, of the people of Transylvania in their Hungarianness, if we can call it that, yeah. and really touch that will never really go. That Hungarian history and tradition that we experienced in Transylvania was very, very strong. And so we take away all those memories back to Australia, and hopefully to share with our brothers and sisters and children.
And anyone else who might want to be who's interested in.
And I'm sure they and we, maybe, hopefully, but certainly they will be able to come back and hopefully deepen a little bit more the understanding of where we came from, and maybe find out even a little bit more about how our grandparents met and things like that. Who knows? And maybe even find some more relatives.
Yes, that would be really good. So a big thank you.
Thank you from us. It was able to be facilitated due to Coroner Concierge and Hungary My Love, the two co-companies and travel support organisations that really helped to bring all of this about, and the connections they had, and to be able to guide us all to the various places that we needed to be. So we didn't have to worry about it, they worried about it on our behalf.
Szétváros Kolozsvár, utcáiból Szomosvár. látod,